Fans of anything can get quite ridiculous at times. And it's not just in the music industry. It's fans of certain actors, sports teams, Philadelphia in specific. But in the music industry, there are certain bands that have the reputation of just having insane fans, whether it's because they think that band is the best band ever and they're psychotic about it, or they're parasocial and they have no boundaries with the artist. It could be anything, but I actually want to make a tier list and rank some of these fan bases based off their reputation alone, like their reputation in the industry and in the community of how insane they actually are. We're filming live on Twitch. Hello, Twitch chat. Welcome. You're going to be a big part of this today. To everybody watching on YouTube later, if you'd like to join us live on Twitch, you can go to twitch.tv/TankTheTech, where we do goofy stuff like this. We talk about music news, reactions, roadie stories, all that good stuff. But for this specific video, I actually wanted to focus on the current music industry. We're not talking about like years past or anything like that. We're just going current. And what I did is a couple days ago, I posted a post on my YouTube community page and I asked you guys, the viewers, what are some of the bands that you first think of that you think have the reputation of having like the craziest fans? Again, it could be because they're just nutty about the music, or they have a certain attitude, or they've kind of gotten way too parasocial with the band, or they defend them too much, whatever it is. I asked you guys, and I've got a list here of 23 different bands. Actually, it's a couple genres to be specific too, because I took the top comments and just went with it. I'm not going to go in a specific order. I randomized the wheel. We're just going to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, that's what we're going to talk about. And again, I would like to remind people that while fan bases have these certain reputations, it's usually a very vocal, small majority of fan bases. Not all fan bases are crazy. There's more normal people than there are the crazy people. But again, certain bands have the reputation of their fans being crazy. So not trying to attack anybody. If you feel attacked, well, maybe do some inward looking upon yourself, because maybe you're one of those crazy fans. But let's get started here. All right, first band, Sabaton. Now I gotta admit here with this one, I am a Sabaton fan, and I know there are some diehards out there, but I've never experienced any like truly wild, crazy, defensive, parasocial Sabaton fans. Not saying that they don't exist, but I've also gone and seen Sabaton in concert, and it was honestly just, I don't know, it's a bunch of metalheads and a bunch of nerds. And I say that like endearingly. I would consider myself in both those groups. So for me personally, I would probably put this pretty low, but let's go to the chat on this one. Chat, what do you think here? I mean, if S is the top tier, like the most annoying fans, the band that has the reputation of having the most annoying fans, and D is just like really not at all, where are we putting them? Most people are saying C or D. For me, I think I'm going D on this one, because I, again, have never really encountered or even heard that Sabaton has a reputation of having wild fans. So I'm going to go D on this one. Next band, Tool. Here's the thing. I'm going to look right at the camera. Without even looking at the chat, I can already tell you people are probably saying A or S, like for the most part. And you guys might be surprised with what I'm going to say here, but I don't think Tool fans are as bad as the rap that they have. Like everybody knows at this point, like the meme is like Tool fans are just so annoying about the band. But in my everyday, regular, casual life, I've never encountered anybody that's like gone out of their way to just be like, oh, Tool, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's more of a meme. I think Tool fans being annoying is more of an actual meme than Tool fans are actually annoying. Now, don't get me wrong. I've encountered the people online that like gush all over them because they're like, oh, did you know that they write music mathematically and with the fucking, what is the Fibonacci sequence or whatever that is? And that's nerdy shit. Like a lot of prog people do that. But chat, what do you guys think after hearing that? Like, honestly, we're getting a lot of B's in here. My gut on this one, I'm being 100% honest, is to actually give Tool fans like a C, but a lot of you guys are thinking B. I'll give you guys some weight. Let's put Tool at B, even though I would have said C personally. I really do think it's more of a meme than anything at this point, and it's their fans really aren't as annoying as people say they are. Next band. Yeah, Pumpkin Writing said we might reevaluate this later. Yeah, we might reevaluate this after we see the comments on this video. But the next band we're talking about is Rammstein. This is kind of going to go along with the Tool argument. I know that Rammstein has a ton of dedicated Wild fans, but I've never really encountered them being very hostile or aggressive or wild or anything like that, except recently when the Till Lindemann stuff came out about Row Zero and stuff like that. Like, you know, I did videos covering that, and if you said anything that the fans didn't like, they were lighting you up. Like, they were being very defensive of the band. But on one hand, I do understand why people defend the bands and the people they like and stuff like that. But again, I've never met like overly aggressive Rammstein fans. It's very rarely do I even see like a Rammstein shirt in public or anything like that. Like, again, we're talking about just the stereotype of a certain band's fan base. I'm going C on this one. Like, obviously I'm in the US and I've been told some of their fans in Europe are a little more aggressive, but I don't know. My gut says C. Chat, agree, disagree? All right, we're going C. It seems like everybody's cool with the consensus of C. Next band we're talking about, I was hoping this was going to be a later one. Sleep Token. Right now in the current music industry is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, an S tier. There is no argument against this, especially considering that the band just released a single where the lyrics are basically about crazy parasocial fans. Now listen, I like Sleep Token. I do like their music and I do listen to them, but this is one of those things where sometimes this very rarely happens for me, but sometimes these like diehard Wild fans, like they almost ruin it for me. Because while I understand there are some things about this band, whether it's the mystique or the lore that the community has created, like I have not been able to get into that as much as some other people. So I just don't get it, I guess. I just like the music. But I've said that before, and I've been like shit on for it by some of their fans online. On one of my recent shorts that I posted where I was talking about, you know, one of the things about Sleep Token is I'm actually tired of like all the gatekeepers like shitting on them. Be like, this isn't real metal and blah, 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 and whatever. And, you know, the truth is Sleep Token is a fantastic gateway band right now for people that might not be into heavy music. It's actually a really cool thing. In that same reel that I posted where I was talking about this, I said I heard their new single and I was like, it was okay, but I am excited about their new album. Some of their fans went wild on me for that. Dude, like, what do you mean it was okay? Do you not know music? Are you fucking stupid? Sleep Token is in a genre of their own. I'm just like, calm the fuck down. Like, really, seriously, calm down. On top of responses like that, people have crossed a lot of boundaries. About a year ago, we found out that there was like a WhatsApp group where there was people actively trying to out the members of the band and dox them. And somebody found a picture of one of their members' birth certificates and like posted it online. It's like, that is not normal behavior. So while I will say it is a minority of fan bases that do these things and act like this, I think right now in the music industry, Sleep Token is without a doubt an S tier in terms of having the reputation of having just insane lunatic fans. Next artist to talk about is Poppy.
I'm Poppy. I'm Poppy. I'm Poppy.
This one was actually a late entry into this list because while I did have quite a few people mention it in the YouTube comments, I wasn't going to put her on here until some people started saying it in chat today. If I'm being honest, I don't know where to put this. I have no idea because personally, I've never heard any rumors or rumblings or anything about fans of Poppy at all. So I do know that anytime you get a female involved in the metal scene, there are inevitably some weird dudes out there and stuff like that. But I have personally never heard anything about Poppy fans. So my gut instinct on this one is to just say D. Anybody in chat have anything about experiences with Poppy fans? Okay, we're going to go D. I am going to see Poppy in House of Protection tomorrow though, so I'll report back if there's anything weird. D it is. Ooh, this is our first time we're not going to be talking about a band. It was suggested a lot. The entire genre of black metal. Everybody in chat saying S. I gotta disagree, and I'll tell you why. S is reserved for like the wildest of the wild. And I don't think, and right now our Sleep Token is our only S. I don't think black metal fans rank up there with Sleep Token. I've never heard about black metal fans getting parasocial and doxing people and getting crazy. Yes, they're very obnoxious about how good black metal is, even though most of it sounds like absolute trash. Don't get me wrong, I do like some black metal. I just like that what I'm listening to sounds good. And I understand there's going to be people that are going to make the argument that I've heard a million times from black metal fans. It's supposed to sound trash because it's supposed to sound decayed, like the sound they're making, like their lives and their hearts. I'm like, okay, calm down, buddy. Let's also not mention, there's a lot of neo-Nazi ideology in the black metal scene as well. And I think that is one of the stereotypes that's thrown in with the fans too. Not saying that goes for everybody by any means. It's just that is one of those things that is kind of known. For me on this one, I gotta just go A, because yes, especially online, black metal fans in general are up there, but they're not at the level of Sleep Token. I would definitely say they're above Tool fans, but below Sleep Token fans. Who are we gonna get? ICP, the Insane Clown Posse.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work?
This one was brought up so much in the comments, like so much about like juggalos and stuff like that. And I gotta say, I disagree. I actually disagree. Juggalos do have a reputation, but I actually think that reputation is based off of a lot of incorrect stereotypes. They are some of the most dedicated diehard fans I've ever seen for any artist in the music industry ever. But let me tell you something. Every juggalo I've ever met personally in my life, and I've toured with a couple people that are like the Hatchet Man tattoos, self-proclaimed juggalos, the nicest, most easygoing, chill, just fun-loving people I've ever met. Even spending a lot of time online, I've never really seen like fans defend the band or get mad that people don't like them. Like, I think they're kind of in on the self-deprecation joke as it is. Like, they make fun of themselves for being juggalos, and they even make fun of the band's other videos. Like, what was that one video by ICP? Miracle? I'm going to rank this without a discussion from chat at all. This is just straight from me. I'm going D on this one. Sanctimonia said, but juggalos are on the FBI gang list. Are they still? I know they were. Juggalos are not currently listed on any active FBI gang watch list. So they are not. And I also don't know if the whole reason they made it on there was due to anything that actually happened, or again, just wild stereotypes. Juggalos are a very tight-knit community, but I've never seen them engaging in any gang activity personally. And again, most of them that I've met have been really cool people. So I'm going D on this one, man. Like, I'm fine with this. Oh, we got Slipknot next. If I'm being 100% honest with you, as a fan of Slipknot since their very first album, I really kind of think they're middle of the road. Back in the day when they were still masked, I will say it was kind of wild because there was a lot of weird stuff going on where everybody wanted to know who they were, and we're trying to push boundaries and find out who they were and looking at personal information. The majority of the drama with Slipknot fans in more recent years has been about replacing band members and stuff like that. I don't really see a lot of rage about Slipknot online anymore. I think this would be different if we were talking about this in like 2003 or 4, but nowadays, yeah, I agree with what was just said in chat, like mid-tier annoyance, more so fans arguing over band members than anything. And with Slipknot, it's interesting too, because there's so many people that hate Slipknot, like usually more traditional metalheads are like, Slipknot sucks. I see more of that online than I do from like actually Slipknot fans. So I would say 20 years ago, they probably, yeah, like it was said, have some mild Sleep Token tendencies, but nowadays in 2025, I think I'd put them in the same tier as Rammstein fans and just say C. I don't think there's any reason to go higher than that. So yeah, I'm gonna go C on that one. Let's move on. Slayer! No way is Slayer an S tier. There's no way. No chance. Chat is all over the place with Slayer right now. I've gotten everything from S down to C. I haven't seen D yet, but I've said this about Slayer for years. Don't get me wrong. There are people that love Slayer's music, but I still really believe that people like the idea of Slayer more than the actual band. What I mean by that is that the name and the image of Slayer has become bigger than the music ever was and ever will be. They do have very devoted fans, but the most annoying thing about Slayer is just going to any metal concert and having a ton of people just yelling, fucking Slayer! But the thing is, I don't think that's Slayer fans. I think those are just metal fans that are doing it for the meme. You don't even have people do that with Metallica. Do you ever go anywhere and hear anybody go, fucking Metallica, just randomly? No, but in a lot of places, even in everyday life, I've been places where like I've heard people just go, fucking Slayer! For me on this one, I would say Slayer fans themselves have the reputation no worse than Rammstein or Slipknot. In the 80s and 90s, we might be having a different conversation. But right now, as it was just said in chat, true Slayer fans are all on Social Security now. I think nowadays in 2025, Slayer fans have got to be a C tier as well. We still have a lot of bands to go. Dimash! Everyone in chat is going, who? If you don't know who Dimash is, actually, now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about Dimash either. Let's check real quick. Okay. Dimash is from Kazakhstan. I actually didn't know that. But if you're in the reaction community on YouTube at all, whether you're a viewer or a content creator, you've inevitably come across reactions to Dimash. And 99 out of 100 times, the reaction to Dimash is, oh my God, this guy is the best singer that's ever lived, and I've never heard anybody sing like this, and he has the voice of an angel, and he's so talented and amazing. And the reason that they get that reaction is because if they don't give that reaction, the fans go fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, I will say, the guy is a fantastic singer. Like above fantastic, up there, for sure. But the fans are, in my opinion, as somebody who used to do like full-time reactions on YouTube, some of the most annoying when it comes to reactions. I used to have somebody on all of my videos that every video I posted, they had a copy and paste prompted post that they would post my comments and be like, it's time that you're introduced to the once in a lifetime, amazing, best in the universe singer, Dimash. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not going to try and insult it, but like their whole fan base, like thinks this guy is literally God's gift to vocals on the planet. And it's just so annoying. He has the voice of Fergie mixed with Jesus. Great reference. Now, when it comes to like parasocial behavior or anything like that, I've never heard anything about it, but I think it is well known in the internet community that these fans are up there, dude. I'm having a hard time if I want to put it at S right now or A. S is nobody's fans are more annoying, or at least have that reputation. But I think I can think of some bands that have worse reputations than Dimash. I'm going A tier because we have to reserve S for like the worst of the worst. So I'll go A tier for Dimash fans being reputably annoying. Next band we're talking about is Ghost. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to have to rely on chat for this one a lot because I don't listen to Ghost. I think to my knowledge, I've probably only heard like 30 seconds of a Ghost song in my life. I don't know why. It's not like I've been avoiding them. It's just, from what I've heard, it's probably not going to be my thing in terms of like metal and rock and stuff like that. I had a lot of people on YouTube leave comments saying that Ghost fans are like intolerable. That's interesting to me because I've never really seen any buzz online about Sleep Token, or sorry, I saw somebody say Sleep Token in chat, sorry, about Ghost fans being intolerable or annoying or parasocial or anything like that. Kit the Drum Tech said Sleep Token fans learned how to fanboy from Ghost fans. Really? Let's see what the internet has to say. I just found a Reddit that said, why have Ghost fans got a reputation for being weird? For a metal band, it is a very different crowd. It draws than people might be used to. Younger, skewed, more female. You don't see people trading beaded bracelets at a Slipknot concert. Somebody said we're basically the theater kids of the metal community. Well, if Ghost fans are the theater kids of the metal community, then that should get them at least an A at least, right? Sorry, theater kids. I was a band kid. Cut me a break. You cannot deny that there are a lot of Ghost fans which are obsessed with the band to the point it gets uncomfortable. The sub has lots of weirdos too. This is funny. This person said, I don't want to be rude, but new fans and some older are really strange. I'm a big fan, yes. I have a tattoo of Papa, like 2 posters in my room, all CDs, 10 shirts, saw them live, etc. But I am not simping over ghouls like they are doing. It's unhealthy. Those are the people that don't realize that they're the fans everybody is thinking about. I'm sorry, if you have a tattoo of the singer, 2 posters in your room, all their CDs, 10 t-shirts, and you go see them live all the time, you're the fan. This comment says, you get all sorts at a Ghost concert because we are free and celebrating who we are with Papa. I know I'm laughing because it's funny to read, but I genuinely love that there are people that love bands this much, because I know what it feels like to have that band that you love and that makes you feel good, and you know, it's great. But those are the kind of sentences that people see, and that's why they think fans are weird. So here's the thing with this one. While I personally have no scope of where I would place Ghost on this list based on my stuff online and stuff like that, a lot of people brought them up. And I do know they have the reputation online of being way up there. And based on what a lot of people in chat were saying, I'm going to give them A tier, but I don't fully know if that's deserved. This is just based off of what I've read, what you guys have said, and yeah, that's really about it. Pantera. I kind of feel about them the same way I feel about Slayer. Yeah, we know that the Pantera crowd can have some, like, you know, super macho fucking alpha male want to fight and drink kind of dudes and stuff like that. But like, if we were talking about this again in the early 90s, this would probably be different. But like right now, yeah, Nameless Ghoul said no obsessive fans necessarily, but a lot of questionable fans. I mean, I don't know if I fully agree with that. I know some people that are just so ride or die Pantera, like no matter what, but we're talking about reputation here. The fan reputation of Pantera nowadays is probably in the C tier with like Slayer and Slipknot and Rammstein. Well, Hertz brings up a good point. A Pantera fan did what he did to Dimebag Darrell at a concert. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, we're talking about reputation and nowadays standards, but we definitely got to weigh the previous stuff in. I guess I'll go B on this one. Take that with a grain of salt. I think everybody out there could probably make different arguments about where they think they should go, but I'll place them B, just middle of the road, because I don't really hear a lot about Pantera fans nowadays, even though they were brought up a lot in the YouTube comments, which is why they're here. Dream Theater. Duke John in chat just said E. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of in the same boat. This is all over the place in chat. C, B, A, S, D. Like, I don't necessarily think that Dream Theater fans have the reputation of being like annoying fans. I think it's prog fans have that reputation, because in the online community, I've never seen anybody really going nuts over Dream Theater. Actually, we make the joke that like nobody hates metal more than metalheads. I would say nobody hates Dream Theater more than Dream Theater fans, because they are a bit wild. Every time the Dream Theater puts out an album, they like start going crazy that it doesn't sound like their old stuff and stuff like that. Like, most of the shit talk I see about Dream Theater is actually from self-proclaimed Dream Theater fans. And I've seen Dream Theater in concert twice. Both times I was there, it was a very enjoyable experience with the fans. Most of the fans reminded me of the comic book guy from The Simpsons. Just fucking D&D nerds and shit. Which, you know, D&D nerds get a bad rap. Being a nerd isn't a bad thing. Being a prog nerd isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? We all like what we like. I think Dream Theater fans probably get a bad rap because of the other things they like and who they are, and then the prog thing in general. But I legitimately feel like putting Dream Theater by themselves, like as a reputation with their fans, in D. If anything, I'd move them up to C just because of how crazy their fans are criticizing the band they like when they put out new music. Worst album ever. All right. We'll put them in D because I don't want to make an E tier. We've got some heavy hitters saved for later. The wheel is actually saved some fucking heavy hitters, dude. Ren.
Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered.
This is a very interesting one, but I kinda get it. Ren, not to be confused with DJ Ren, the Welsh hip-hop vocalist, producer that we've covered on YouTube and stuff. He's gone viral a few times now with videos, and he has very impactful lyrics, and he's actually really good artist. But I have seen some wild fans out there. I've heard from some of his other diehard fans that some people have gotten quite parasocial now that he's blown up. Also, he's one of those artists that if you don't gush over everything he does, people will call you stupid, like you don't know anything about music. I did a reaction to Ren once where I will say I probably over criticized it before I realized what the video really was, and people really got on. Like people were like mad like I insulted their mother. But again, this is one of those things that might be out of my realm. There were a lot of people online that brought up Ren in the topic of conversation about how his fans are getting the reputation of being very annoying, whether it's protective or parasocial or aggressive with other people. Devil's Prozac said his fans really popped up a lot of the reactor community for the last couple of years. I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it too. Like kind of in the same sense as Dimash, I've seen a lot of Ren fans are like, leaving comments everywhere like, you need to react to this because this guy is the greatest artist that's ever lived and blah, blah, blah. So while I don't see a lot of it, and I don't think I would have never considered Ren for this video, from the things I was told before I filmed this video, it's like a B, C. If I've got Slayer and C, I can't put Ren above that. So let's just go C for Ren. But there are people in chat saying that I should nudge it up to possibly A. All right, let's just move on. K-pop in general. Now, I am not a K-pop fan. Like the whole chat is already blowing up. S+++. Listen, I'll tell you right now, there doesn't have to be a discussion about this whatsoever. To any K-pop fans that are watching, I'm so sorry that I specifically picked a picture of BTS. That was not intentional. I just Googled get K-pop. That is the first thing that came up. Don't come after me. I am not a fan of K-pop. I don't really know what goes on in the idol community and the K-pop and J-pop scene and stuff, but I do know the reputation and I've heard the stories and I know how crazy people can get. And I think we don't even have to have a discussion about this. I think the entire genre of K-pop just goes to S tier with no conversation. Case closed. Oh. We're going from one genre of idols to another band of idols. I can already hear the thunderous footsteps coming to my channel. The next band we're talking about is BabyMetal. This is an A tier. It's not quite S, but it's for sure an A tier. And I actually think that the reputation of their fans, and again, as a reminder, yes, I am kind of trying to calm you guys a little bit. I'll fully admit I'm a little scared right now. I'm really not. I'm just having fun. I think in terms of their reputation, I think the American or North American BabyMetal crowd actually has like a more volatile reputation than the actual Asian BabyMetal crowd, to be honest with you. Because I never really got into BabyMetal until maybe about like 3-4 years ago when I started my reaction channel. And I even said like before I listened to BabyMetal, I always just assumed they were just another idol gimmick. Like I never got into it and stuff like that. And this was before I watched the video. And just from me saying the word gimmick triggered a lot of people. And even my recent video talking about their $2,000 VIP meet and greet pack, or not meet and greet package. Sorry, there's no meet and greet, just a VIP package. I will say the majority of their fans that commented on my video that said like, I'm a BabyMetal fan and yes, this is crazy. I would never do this. There were a lot of other people that showed up that were actually saying weird things. Like, not just like, oh, I'm a BabyMetal fan and I would do this. Things like, I'm a diehard BabyMetal fan, and if I was presented with the opportunity to even be in the presence of these 3 girls and be near them, I would put my house up for sale and pay anything. Dude, that's fucking weird. I mean, that's cool that you like them that much, but like, that's a reason that fan bases have a weird reputation. They're also one of those bands that if you're a content creator and you don't just think that's the best thing ever, some of their fans will go after you. I don't think they're quite S tier, but I'm definitely saying they're A tier for sure. Simno says, boo, we should be S tier. As a BabyMetal fan, Simno is a BabyMetal fan and says they should be S tier. I don't think BabyMetal fans have the reputation of being S tier annoying fans. I don't. Now, If you want the challenge, maybe we can revisit this in a year. Tell the rest of the fan base. You can be like our annual rankings list and we can see if people move up or down. Yeah. It's time. It's time. It's Vader time. No, it's Nightwish time. Let's go. I have a very special relationship with Nightwish fans and the Nightwish Army community because the majority of them that I've encountered have been very kind. Very nice, albeit weird. We all are. We're all nerds. We're all goofballs. But I will say it is the minority of the fan base, but there is a large group of Nightwish fans that are absolutely, purely fucking psychotic and absolutely deserve to be in the S tier because I have gotten death threats in my emails for criticizing this fucking band before. No normal people do that. Even as something as simple is criticizing the mix on their new album got me fucking torched from this small minority of their fan base. It's fucking infuriating, dude. My personal experience, I've never been hassled more on YouTube than by this small group of these Nightwish fans. But as we can see in chat, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching, we're talking about reputation. And these fans absolutely, as a fan base, have the reputation. Like, they really do. There's people in chat that have said they will not listen to Nightwish because of, like, the reputation of the fan base. I understand that. I still listen to Nightwish. I still like them. But listen, it's a great band. And they've had a long history, and they've had 3 fantastic vocalists in their band. Actually, 4. Technically 5 if you want to count Tomas, but I don't think even the diehard Nightwish fans want to consider that. Oh, how did I forget about Troy? Yeah, 6 vocalists in this band's history. But the reputation of their fan base absolutely precedes them. This is one of those that's up there with S tier because, again, like death threats and stuff like that. They're on top of S and it's not close? No, I wouldn't say they're above any of those other bands. Plus, we've got some more that are going to make it on there. Next band is Spiritbox. And if I just sounded confused while I announced what band we were talking about, I kind of am. The only reason I included this is because a lot of people in the YouTube comments brought them up. I personally don't even know why they should be ranked. I've never heard anything about Spiritbox fans ever. Mystic said it's mostly Courtney stans that would put them in C. I mean, I kind of get that. We've said whenever there's a woman involved in like the metal or rockin' community, you usually get some of those weird dudes out that are kind of weird. And yeah, I do remember when they originally got taken on that or added to that tour with Falling in Reverse, a lot of their fans did lose their minds because they didn't want Spiritbox, a band that they like, touring with somebody like Ronnie Radke. So I remember all that drama too. But even with all that, it's like, I've never really heard anything about this family. I'm going D, dude. I actually don't even think that they deserve to be on this list, but this is what you guys said you wanted. So that's what we're doing. Falling in Reverse. And I think by association, we can just say Ronnie Radke because he's the face of the band, the most vocal one in the band. It is his band. Now, a lot of people in chat, S+, top of S, not even close. A or S, 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 S. I disagree with you guys, and let me tell you why. I think a lot of you guys are trying to rank this based on what you think about Ronnie Radke. We are talking about the reputation of the fans. And I'll tell you right now, I don't think a lot of actual Falling in Reverse fans themselves have a bad reputation. Control Deli Meat says, say anything online and they come for you. I have said stuff online. And I've only had one person, like save screenshots and go absolutely crazy and call me out for saying something to Ronnie and stuff like that. One person. There are a lot of people that will defend anything Ronnie says, no matter what. But in terms of the fan base, I've been to a Falling in Reverse show. It was pretty much a standard radio rock crowd. Nothing crazy. People were cool. Online, yeah, you got people defending Ronnie, but Ronnie's also always defending himself. And there's also a lot of people attacking Ronnie all the time. I'm just trying to stay objective here with the overall reputation of the fan base. I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of weight because a lot of people brought up Falling in Reverse in the YouTube comments. sometimes it's the only band that people brought up. And a lot of you guys immediately when we said Falling in Reverse started saying S tier, A tier, stuff like that. But in terms of the reputation of Falling in Reverse fans in general and how they act and stuff like that, I'll go B. Just to give you guys some weight in the argument. There's got to be a reason why that many people are saying Falling in Reverse. But you could probably make the argument that a lot of people don't like Falling in Reverse very passionately, so they might just be saying that. I don't know. We're going to do this one on B tier, whatever. I don't care. Let's move on. Metallica.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
For me personally, this is another one of those like, Slayer, Slipknot, Rammstein. I'm like, my gut says C at worst, but possibly D, because I can't think of ever encountering any aggressive Metallica fans. I mean, they're the biggest metal band ever. Everybody knows who they are. They've got nothing to prove. And again, it might be one of those time-related issues where it was like maybe back in the 80s and 90s, we could have had a different conversation. But nowadays, I'm going D on this one. When I've heard conversations about annoying fans from people, Metallica is rarely ever brought up. This was actually one of the bands that was recommended the least on the comments, but they were still in the top of what I chose. So yeah, I'm just going to go D on this one. Hi, I'm in a new spot. I had to move myself so we weren't blocking bands. All right, the wheel is frozen, so let's just knock out the last three without spinning the wheel. Next band on the list, Bad Omens. Chat, give it to me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Bad Omens fans might actually top Sleep Token fans in today's current day and age. In terms of their reputation in the online community and at shows and stuff like that, I have seen so many wild stories about how absolutely crazy their fans are, specifically about their singer. I mean, dude, this is a band who literally got run off social media because their fans were so psychotic and parasocial that they were having mental health issues being online and having all these people always just going after them. Wolf of Vengeance just said, I've never encountered annoying at all or bad crazy fans. Well, I mean, sure, I believe you. Because in some of these cases, I haven't either. Like I said with Ghost. But we have Ghost in an A tier. Because again, this is based on reputation. Reputation of the fan base. And as somebody who spends a lot of time online and in the music community, Bad Omens absolutely has the reputation of having a wildly crazy, I don't even think annoying is the word. I think with these fans, it's like psychotic. But to be fair, there is an interesting thing with this because I've seen a lot of Bad Omens fans that seem pretty normal say they think this could be attributed to them blowing up on TikTok. And a lot of these crazy people actually came from the TikTok world and aren't actually like, fans that have been fans of the band for a while. They're just obsessed with the singer. But yeah, as it was just said in chat, like they cyber stalked the singer Noah's relatives, found childhood pictures of him, doxed him. He got off social media completely. Like this fan base has the reputation of being crazy parasocial level insanity. So I think the majority of people would think that this is probably appropriate. Next one on the list, Bob, AKA Kid Rock. I gotta fully admit I'm a little confused about this one too, because I don't know anything about Kid Rock's fans. I don't know what to do with my hands. You know what I mean? Like, I think there is probably the reputation that a lot of people that listen to Kid Rock are like hillbilly right-wing trailer people, which maybe hillbilly right-wing trailer people listen to him, but I think that's a little unfair because at one point in time, we were all rocking Kid Rock albums, man. To be honest, his first album fucking slaps. Nowadays, though, he's more kind of just a figure than anything. Like, yeah, he's still doing concerts and stuff like that, but I don't ever hear any ramblings of like Kid Rock's fans being weird, crazy, parasocial. I don't think his fans have the reputation of being like annoying and stuff as we're talking about. Fucking D it is. And this is kind of crazy that it worked out like this. This was not intentional. Who do you guys think is left right now before I even tell you? That's right. We're going after the Swifties now, dude. Taylor Swift.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Without even having a discussion, let's We haven't been putting these in any specific order, but in this specific one, I'm putting Taylor Swift first spot, S tier. I think there is nobody else in the music industry right now whose fans have the reputation of being more crazy, diehard, psychotic, parasocial. Like, Silver Chief said we need a new tier. We almost need a new tier for Taylor Swift fans, honestly. Like, they are in a league of their own, dude. It's worse than all of the other bands well, you could probably make the argument that K-pop and Swifties are probably at the same level, but I think Taylor for sure goes above Sleep Token, Bad Omens, Nightwish. And there's so many examples that we could give other than the fact that we all know that reputation is just there, undeniable. I mean, they have a nickname for themselves, Swifties. There's so many different examples you could give about how fans cross lines and do crazy stuff. But one of the more recent things is super wild. Right after the Super Bowl, I think it was the same night when the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But apparently CJ Gardner-Johnson, a player for the Eagles, said something about Taylor Swift that Swifties didn't like. So they started doing some digging and they found out that his mother owns a restaurant in Rockledge, Florida. So what did Swifties do? In the thousands, in droves of thousands, they went to CJ Gardner-Johnson's mother's restaurant's Google reviews and Yelp page and review bombed her with 1-star reviews because they were upset for what he said about Taylor Swift in an interview. That is absolutely unhinged behavior. And apparently, at the same time, they started going after Jason Kelce on Twitter. Jason Kelce is the brother of Travis Kelce, who Taylor Swift is dating. Travis Kelce plays for the Chiefs. His brother Jason played for the Eagles. And in a podcast, Jason had said if the Eagles and Chiefs were in the Super Bowl together, he would cheer for Travis to have a good game, but he would want his former team, the Eagles, to win. Swifties lost their fucking minds about that. Basically tried to cancel Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother over that. And the crazy thing is, somebody brought up on this Reddit thread, the nuttiest thing about it is like, this isn't just like young teenage girl fans or anything. It's like everything from like young people to old people that are acting like this over Taylor Swift, the Swifties. It's like one of the reviews that I saw, I can't find it right now. I honestly don't know where it is, but a bunch of the review bombs that were left had usernames like Swiftie or T Swift fan or something like that. And somebody called it out and was like, oh, you're trying to tell me you're not actually a Taylor Swift fan? This is a legitimate review? And they're like, yeah, this is a legitimate review. This restaurant sucks. And they're like, really? The person with a Taylor Swift profile picture and the name T Swift Forever leaving a 1-star review on CJ Gardner-Johnson's mother's restaurant? This isn't fake? This is a real review? Like, it's unhinged, dude. I legitimately think like Swifties definitely belong in their own category. Again, as we've talked about all these bands, this is usually the minority of fan bases that are just vocally crazy like this. But it seems like with Taylor Swift, there's more of that minority. You know what I mean? Like with some of these other bands like Sleep Token, Nightwish, Bad Omens, if it's like 1% of their fan base has that reputation of being like crazy and psychotic, with Taylor Swift, it's like 10%. I mean, it might not be 10%. It just seems like that's what it is. Actually, honestly, seems like it's probably more than that. But yeah, I think when it comes to this list that we have been provided by the comments on YouTube, like if we want to go through it really quick and actually put them in order, I think Taylor Swift reigns at number 1. K-pop as a genre has to be number 2. I would say Sleep Token is number 3. Bad Omens is number 4. Nightwish is number 5 on the S tier. I think that's how I would put that personally. On our A tier, I think the only thing I'll switch is BabyMetal and Ghost. And then I'm fine with the rest of that. This is basically kind of how I look at it in terms of, again, the reputation that certain fan bases have. This has nothing to do with the artists themselves. This is the reputation that these bands have of having wild fans. I think this is a pretty accurate list in 2025, but I am open to arguments. Well, no, not really arguments, conversations. I don't want to argue about this shit. This is fucking pointless. Like, I've seen some people in chat already like, dude, you're going to get so much heat for this video. And to be honest with you, I don't think I should. We're not sitting here shitting on anybody. We've made it a point to say it's a vocal minority of fan bases, and this is purely based on reputations that these bands have of their fans. But as we always say, chat, it's the fucking internet. And the internet be crazy. And let's face it, there's probably going to be some people in here going nuts in the comments, but whatever, man. This was just for fun. It's not to demean any of these fan bases or start any drama. It's just, we're just having fun on Twitch. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe this could be a regular thing as time goes on. We can see if any of these bands go up or down on the list. Cause you know, like we said, with some of these bands like Slayer, Slipknot, Rammstein, Metallica, stuff like that, 20 years ago, we could have been having a different discussion, but in 2025 right now, as it stands, I think this is pretty good. Do you think there's any bands we missed? Let me know in the comments and do another one of these. Cause on top of just like doing this for fun and stuff, I legitimately like learning different things about the entire sphere of the music industry. Like, even when we were talking about Ghost, finding out like some of the stuff about why their fans are considered like wild and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know that. And I like to know the reputation of like a lot of these bands and stuff like that. So I had fun doing this. This was a good time. To everybody that was here on Twitch, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your help. Thank you for keeping it cool in chat. As a reminder to anybody watching on YouTube, you can go to twitch.tv/TankTheTech, where we do stuff like this and actually tell roadie stories and stuff like that. I'm also on a ton of different social media. At TankTheTech is my handle on just about everything. But until next time, wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon.